Well, this is the second time I'm starting this, so now I have to start over, but not where I wanted to start over because I already started on something and now I got to shoot this video with it partially done. But basically what I said in the last video, and I'm going to repeat myself, is we moved a few months ago. Then we went on a trip to Virginia before the house was completely set up. The basic house was set up. But we had a room, a spare room that was supposed to be my resale room. That had all my resale supplies, my resale merchandise, but also studio stuff for me, studio stuff for my husband, just miscellaneous. So we've been going through that for the last week. That's why I've not been doing videos on either of my channels. It's been a full-time job this last few days getting through all this stuff. And one of the things I've been going through is all those pounds of jewelry that I've had. I went through them one by one and I filled bags for a thrift store, brought them a couple, boxes of nice sellable jewelry. But I went through and picked out things that I wanted, either for myself to wear. I collect items that have tassels, necklaces that are tasseled. Found some I didn't keep for myself because I thought they were worth selling, and I kept those. Some bracelets I really liked, I kept. Some earrings I really liked, I kept. And then some for family and friends. And then I had stuff I was going to take apart. Now, I showed you in the last video an old-fashioned necklace that I was going to take apart. Unfortunately, my camera turned off, so now I'm already partially through it. And what I started showing you was how I was taking it apart. So I'll start over with that. But what I'm doing today is I'm going to go through all this jewelry that I saved for myself. And some of it, I only want like 20% of the whole piece. And the rest I'm going to donate to the same thrift store because they like to make bead jars and jewelry jars. So the stuff I don't want, I can bag up for them, then put it in a box, and then they can put it in jars or bags and sell it. So I started showing you a necklace. I'll show you it taken apart because unfortunately my camera decided to do some weird auto turn off or something. So let me turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And let's start over. Unfortunately, I can't show you the necklace put together like I did before, but here is my tray, and this is the necklace I was working on. And what I showed you before is I took off the clasp, both sides of the clasp, and I will save those together. And I have a couple of these boxes that I purchased recently at the thrift store that I'll put some of this loose stuff into these cubbies, so then when I'm done I can put it into the correct box. But I took apart this necklace. It was a vintage necklace, and I know a lot of people will be upset with me. Why did you take it apart? They're valueless. Nobody wants them. The reason why I'm giving up on reselling pretty much is I can list the same thing that some of the bigger YouTubers list and sell immediately, for decent money. And I'm not talking big bucks. I'm talking like a picture frame that they can get 12 bucks for. I'll list for the same amount as them, and a year later I haven't sold it even though I've brought it down in price. It's just really hard to sell sometimes. So I just decided I was tired of lowball offers. I mean, things I bought that showed sold comps for, like, I bought a purse that showed sold comps for $40. I listed it for $35. A year and a half later I got $15 for it, and I paid $5 for it. So you can see it wasn't a whole lot of profit after I paid fees. So I just need to step back. After my heart surgery, I'm really reevaluating what makes me happy, and reselling just doesn't make me happy anymore. So what I wanted out of this necklace was these glass beads. And they are glass. You can scratch them on your teeth and you feel it. My husband gets nuts when I do that. He doesn't like me touching my teeth with stuff, but that's how you tell pearls are real. That's how you tell if things are glass. It just really does work. So I'm going to pull. I see it's getting caught on some of the thread. Oh, the end didn't come off. Okay. So I'm going to pull all these brown beads out. And so these are gorgeous. They're glass, vintage glass, and they're just a stunning color. And I'm going to pull all those out and put them in one of my little cubbies over here that the any brown colored beads will go into. And there's quite a few, so you take apart a necklace for a certain bead, and it's kind of surprising, you think, oh, it's only going to be a couple, but I ended up getting a pretty decent amount of them. But I'm also going to take a few of these really nice shiny brown pearls. Now these are not glass. There's some muted like matte colored pearls, but I like the shinier pearls. So I will take some of these nice brown pearls. I'll get a few more of the little ones. And I might take a few of the matte brown too. I like this size. So I'll take some of these nice pearls. Okay, all in the brown, and I'll put them, I have a brown pearl box. Then we have some pretty beige, and I will take a few of the different beige beads, but I don't need all of these. So I'll take some of the shiny, some of the, you know, and I'll just put them over here. And then I do want these little bead caps. Let me show you these. They are really pretty, little tiny bead caps. And I love bead caps, especially these little vintage ones. So I will take those and put those over here and collect all of those off of here. Then when I'm done, I'm gonna put all the rest of these beads in a bag. And there's two different kinds of bead caps too. There's this one as well. So there's the open kind of filigree one, and then there's that little star-shaped one. So this still leaves a lot of beads. Oh, there's another one of my pretty crystals too, or glass. It still leaves a lot of beads to donate. And they're not crap. See, this is the thing I'm going to be very clear about. I will not give my thrift store any crap. When I'm taking apart these necklaces, I will take off what I want. If there's beads that have, like, you know how sometimes pearls will lose their finish and it won't be pretty? Those will go in the garbage. I am not going to donate trash to them. I threw away a few things when I was going through it last night that were just garbage. They had some of that blue on them. They were starting to go bad, or the pearls were rubbed off, stuff like that. So I will not donate those. If I wouldn't use it, like if it's not good enough quality for me to use, I'm not going to give it to someone else. Even as charity, there's nothing that's more frustrating for charities than when you bring them garbage. We actually know somebody that ran a thrift store, and she donated some of her proceeds to charity, and what closed them down was all the garbage people would drop off. That they would drop off bags and bags and bags of stuff, and half of it would be literal trash that they had to pay to get rid of, and it put them out of business. It literally put them out of business. It was so sad. It was a little family-run business, and now he's back at work. They did open another little store, but she's being much more careful now. So that's all I want out of this particular necklace. And so I'll put these little findings in one of those little squares. And then for now, I'm going to put this over here and sort it out later, because I'm not going to do that on camera. And maybe I'll take apart one or two other little things and show you before my video's over. But I figured I'd show you kind of what I do and what I look for. And there are seed beads. So like if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of jewelry, a lot of beads, and you want to create jewelry, going to a yard sale especially and buying junk jewelry, stuff that's older, maybe has some bad parts, but overall has some nice pieces. Like here's one. A lot of times you want the chain or you want the charms. Like here's one. It's got a really nice chain, and yes, it's got two parts to the chain. But what you can do is you can take these two parts off and you can bag them together so that you can, hook a jump ring on them, or a piece like that. Or if you want, like I may leave this little hoop on there and just take these jump rings off. Well, that's the string from the necklace. That might be what I do. And I might just, even if I don't end up using it, I don't usually reuse jump rings because I very rarely can get them to look the way they did when I took them off. So I just don't even like bothering with it. And that might be wasteful to you. But I've got so many jump rings, and I've got literally hundreds of pieces of jewelry to take apart. I have to pick my battles, you know what I mean? Sometimes if I'm only taking apart one piece of jewelry and that's all I'm doing, I might keep the jump rings. Now see, I'll probably keep that together for now. That way I've got these two chains together. If I don't want to use this, which I may put a beaded fringe on there or something, then I can take it off and put a jump ring or something else. Now I've got some really nice quality charms here. I've got this little bird that's really nice quality. This one's beautiful. And then I've got a beaded charm. So these 3 charms will go into my charms. Does the necklace have a tag on it? Let's see. No. This is the thing that fascinates me. Some very nice quality jewelry will not be tagged. So all my chain will go into one little thing. Now I still have these, which are the parts to the other necklace, and I will take the string off of these and save these, because you can use these even as a fringed pendant. Don't look at everything as a possible piece you could reuse. Like I said, if I'm only doing one piece, then I might try to save the jump rings, but it's not worth it. Now here's another one. I just want all the beads. Again, another piece that's just not worth any money to sell. And I want all of these beads. So I won't cut this one open on camera. I'm going to cut this open and put it right into my pink beads. These are just a beautiful vintage iridescent plastic beads. So those I'll just take apart and put them right into the container. Here's one where I'm just going to simply take this little charm off the chain. Here's one that's just a gorgeous chain already that I can hang some charms on. And it's beautiful. It's a very high quality. All of these have been tested. They're not gold or silver. Here's a bracelet. Again, this is not worth anything. I've seen some sold, but there's a little elephant charm, and then it has the stone. It says it's got carnelian and rutilated 8mm beads, and I've got some nice spacers with amber colored stones. So I will take this apart and directly put it into the bead container. Now here's one that's a little bit different, and I think this will be the last one I do in this video. This is a nice one. It looks like a J. Crew, but it's not. It's actually got a signature tag that says J. Crew. But that's not a J. Crew clasp, and there's a lot of fakes out there. And it's so bad. I mean, you can see how rotten this chain is. It's just really dark. This is the original color. So that chain, it could be used, but this piece of jewelry is just gone. So what I will do is I won't even worry about opening up this chain. I'll just take and cut this chain open like this. These are really getting old. They don't work as well as they used to. And I'll take the chain off both sides. Because sometimes on steampunk and stuff, you can get away with using some of that older, but this is so gross from just being worn that, oh, see, this one just does not want to, so in that case, I'll have to use the pliers and just open it. I might need some new cutters. Oh, there it broke. Now these stones here, I can use all this. Now I will keep them together until I need them, and then I can take off the jump ring. But until then, I've got all these connected. We've got the single stone, and then we got these clusters. And these here, if I didn't like these could be cut off, see, from the back. So I will keep this together and put it in my little thing. This chain is so nasty, I'm going to throw that away. And this piece, there's not enough of it. So these will get tossed because they're just, it's not good. This is another one that I can, and then I'm gonna sign off and do the next video because I've got enough to do about 100 videos probably. See this one? I will simply, for now, take the chain off of here and here, and I'll just put this in my rose quartz. Just keep it wrapped up and chained together, because then when I need a piece, I can just open up the jump ring and take one or two off to make the project I want to make. But these little bits of gold chain are quite lovely, so we will take those off, and I can just, does this open? Sometimes they're fused together. Okay, they're fused together. I think that's, okay, yeah, that's been soldered. So in that case, I have to either open the link of the chain, or, and I'm going to see if I can do that, or I have to cut it. And since there's very little chain there, and it's a nice heavy pretty gold chain, I'll probably go ahead and try to open it. So let's see, I'll probably just take the two pliers and I'll open it and take it off of here like that. And I'll do that on both sides. I'll seal this back up, and I will hook these together. I'll hook these two together so I know they go together. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to turn off the camera and I'll do the next few pieces so I can do a bunch of different videos for you. So I'll be back later with the next few pieces of jewelry.